Welcome to Cake on Tuesday, where we spotlight the rule breakers, the underdogs who refuse to listen when everyone said it won't work. I'm Elizabeth Bieniek, and for the next 20 minutes, we're diving into another disruptive innovation story that proves sometimes the craziest ideas change everything. Today's guest is Abraham Gray, a serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, and private lender who started his first business at age 15 and earned his first million by age 19. He has now bought, operated, and sold more than 400 businesses. Adam Gray, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining me for some cake.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to see you.
I'm really excited to jump in here. I kept your bio probably one of the shortest ones I've ever done on the show, but 400 businesses, I'm just floored.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions. But first of all, I want to ask, what do you love so much about buying, running, and selling businesses that has inspired you to do this over 400 times?
Money. I love having a lot of money. What else? No, I mean, people that say they want to have businesses don't really want to have businesses. They want to have the stuff that businesses get them, which is the freedom, the money that gets you to do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. And I'm curious about this first business by 15. You're obviously hustling to get your first million by 19. I'm
Yeah.
curious about teenage Abraham.
Yeah,
What was really,
I was a
what's going on there?
crazy teenager. So, I was actually a troublemaker. I was
Okay.
getting in trouble in school. I was getting suspended all the time, got expelled from multiple schools. I didn't live with my parents. They got divorced, and I kept going to foster families. So I was kind of a bad kid, but I selling stuff just clicked with me, and making money started clicking with me. And from there, I just kept doing it on a bigger scale. Living with all these different people, I always had to listen to everything they said, and I'm not really good at listening to people. So as I started making money, I didn't have to listen to people as much because I could do what I want. The more money you have, the more power you have, the more stuff you can do. So I got addicted to it. It became something that I got really good at. So I just want to do more and more of it. And that's kind of how it all started. And when I was 15, I started selling sports cards because I collected them my whole life and I was really into sports.
Okay.
And I made, $30,000-$40,000 my first year. Then when I was 16, I was making closer to 100,000, and then 17, hundreds of thousands, 18, 19. But before you knew it, when I was 19, I had $1 million saved in my bank account just from that business. And then from there, I just got into other businesses and just, went from 1 million to 10 million to 50 million, $100 million businesses and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'm more focused on real estate now than anything else, but I go back and forth. When real estate's very hot, I do tons of real estate. When real estate kind of slows down, I just get more into business. I own a lot of businesses right now. I still own probably a few dozen, but I am not interested in growing that so much right this moment. So, but as real estate slows down, I do more and more with the real estate stuff.
Okay, let's talk about getting into real estate, because that's an area where it helps to have money to start. But it seems like it's a lot of cases takes money to make money kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
And it does seem like businesses and properties are both kind of like tattoos. You get one, you just want to get more. So how did you make that shift into real estate? What did that look like?
Yeah, so I started a business when I was 15, and I was making a ton of money. Obviously, by the time I was 19, I already had saved $1 million in my account. I kept doing that. And then when I was about 21, 22 years old, a friend of mine came to me and said, look, I do a lot of real estate. You don't have any real estate. You don't do real estate. You need to diversify, get real estate. It's something that as you get older, you'll own everything free and clear because you'll be paying it off. You'll make some amount of money every month by renting. You could do different things like that. So I was like, okay, cool. Teach me about it. They taught me a little bit about it. I bought a few properties when I was 22. That's when I got into real estate, when I was 22. So 7 years after I started business, and ended up buying like 2 or 3 properties pretty fast. Just rented them out. Then I bought another one. It needed a little bit of work when I bought it. So I kind of started getting into fix and flips after seeing how the renovations and rehab goes. And before you knew it, I was doing more rentals. I was doing, starting to do some fix and flips. And then that's what got me into lending. A lot of my friends saw that I was buying a lot of property. And a lot of my friends said they want to get into it, but they don't have the money. Can you loan me money to do it? And I started loaning money to some of my friends. And now I actually have a big lending business to loan to everybody and have tons of real estate. I own over 325 rental properties, but my main thing with real estate is fix and flips. So I'm buying 15 to 25 plus properties every month in Atlanta, and I'm rehabbing them all or selling them to other people that want to rehab them. And that's kind of what keeps me busy every day.
I can imagine that does keep you busy every day.
Yeah.
I'm also imagining the 100th deal is probably a lot different from that first handful of deals.
Yeah.
If you were able to kind of look back and say, "Hey, Abraham, remember these 3 things when you're starting out." Like, what are those top couple things you would want to remind your younger self?
Well, the first and most important thing is to make sure that you don't jump into stuff not knowing what you're doing. Make sure you have help. Make sure that there's
Mm,
somebody that's done what you want to do that could teach you, or else you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to learn from your mistakes, but it's a lot more expensive and costly and time consuming. So I would
yeah.
say definitely, oh, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter if it's real estate or anything else, make sure you get with someone that's already done it, successful, so you can learn from them. That's for sure by far the most important thing.
Okay.
Yeah, what's really cool now is that I have 3 kids.
Mhm.
The one that just turned 18, I got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. So the 18 and 16-year-old are very active now in real estate too. So they're doing a lot of stuff over the last year. They've been buying a ton of deals and they're actually doing their first flip right now. But they've been buying a lot of properties and selling them to me for this whole year. So that's kind of cool to see, the younger, like when I was that age, I was doing so much. So now it's cool to see that they're doing it as well.
Oh, that's really cool to pay wisdom forward and see the next generation
Yeah.
building that up. That's awesome. So real estate seems like one of those areas that's been a bit of a constant despite, the world has changed in so many areas. My background's tech. I spent a lot of time in high tech in Silicon Valley. Everybody's AI this, AI that. It's disrupting everything. Real estate does seem to be, I mean, it goes up and down, but it seemed to have been a constant for many, many years. But I'm sure things have changed in your space too. What do you see has really kind of changed recently and what's staying the same?
Yeah, stuff changes all the time. Every 5, 10 years is drastically different. So I remember when I first started doing it when I was in my 20s, how loans worked. There were certain ways to get loans. Now it's totally different. Now there's all different types of options and the rates are different and the qualifications are different. But just finding properties are different. Back then, you pretty much had to go on the MLS and online and on market, and that's how most stuff was bought. There were people that had stuff in a newspaper. A lot of people don't even know what newspapers are, but they used to have like classified sections and newspapers, so you could buy some stuff there. But now it's pretty much everything I buy, nothing's on market, and everything
Huh.
is online. So everything's digital. You go into social medias, you go into different things like that, and every property that I buy, I meet people that are on social media that post different things, and that's how I find the stuff. So I would say, if you want to stay aggressive, there's always ways to find deals, and you can always find people that also want to buy deals. So it's a lot easier. Plus, right now there's all kinds of different softwares that you can use to find the owners of every property and all the owners' relatives, and you could start calling people, you could text people, you could do all kinds of stuff that the technology wasn't there when I first started. So it's a lot easier to do the business now than it was before.
Hmm. Do you find it still though a lot of it's not what you know, it's who you know, kind of in network and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
finding?
100%. Most of the deals that you buy because of the network that you're in. If you don't know people, you're going to get a lot less deals. So the more people you know, the more successful you're going to be because you could pick the best deals and you'll get a lot more deals to look through. It's always a numbers game, and the
Yeah.
more people you know, the more deals you're going to get. And then if you get a very small amount of deals, you're probably not going to get so many good ones. But if you get a lot of deals, you're going to get more good ones.
Yeah. What advice did you give your kids when they're starting out in the space of the networking and reaching out? Because you mentioned it's completely different from when you first started.
Yeah, so I showed them how I get deals lately over the last few years, how I get most of my deals and how people find me and reach out to me. So I made sure they know how to do that, being very aggressive on social media, making lots of posts, commenting on lots of other people's posts, and of course, learning how to underwrite deals to make sure that they know what stuff is worth and what to offer. So those are the
Mhm.
main things that we worked on. I would say the first 3, 4 months, I wouldn't let them do anything except for learn how to underwrite and make sure they know what stuff is worth. And once they knew that, then I just have them now every day. All they do is they look at hundreds of deals every week, and they just make offers on everything. Or if someone has a good price, they'll just buy it. But yeah, they're literally all day just going and making offers on stuff and finding lots of deals. They have a lot more time than me, so they're able to find actually a lot more deals than I am these days.
You've talked some about all of your businesses and now in your real estate investing that you partner up, you work with other entities, other partners in the where do you find that balance between what's your sweet spot? This is where Abraham operates versus, hey, this is just better to partner and work with somebody else.
Well, I kind of partner with everyone on everything I do to some degree, whether it's an actual partner or whether it's some like high level employee that could run stuff. But either way, to me,
Mhm.
that's kind of like a partner, even though, it's not technically a partner.
Sure.
But I would say that everyone is good at different things. So you've got to figure out what you're good at and what you're not good at. And sometimes it doesn't even mean what you're good at and not good at, what you enjoy doing, right? Maybe you
Yeah.
could be good at it, but you don't enjoy it. So I look for the stuff either I don't enjoy or the stuff I'm not as good at. And I find people that are really good at that stuff much better than me. And that's who I partner with, whether it's a partner that I'm actually partners, like we're actually on the operating agreement together, or whether it's a partner that's just a high level person that could work for me and just do everything on a better scale than me. So that's what I do with everything. It's very rare that I don't have a partner in all my businesses. There's only very few that I don't have like a true partner. But the ones
Mhm.
that I don't have a true partner, I have like really, really good employees that operate it and run it at a high level.
Got it. All right, let me get into the real talk here because I'm curious. What are the things you hate to do?
I hate to do anything that is like just busy work. So if you don't have to use your brain and think and stuff like that. So like when people tell me to do accounting and you just have to find a whole bunch of where I spent this and where I spent that, it's just like any idiot can do it. And it's just basically like researching and finding stuff. I don't like doing that type of stuff. I like doing stuff that other people, a normal person can't do. Like people that are good at can do it, but I like finding deals that in hard ways where other people can't find stuff. I like negotiating
Mm,
with people and getting them to accept what I want to do and showing them why it's a good deal for them, good deal for me. So I like talking to people more and being on that side. I don't like the side where I'm just having to research stuff and do all kinds of stuff where I can have somebody else do. So every single time I get loans on something, which is why I hardly ever get loans, they ask for so much paperwork. You need to fill out this and fill out that, fill out that. It's like none of that you have to be a genius to figure out. Like there's nothing, it's just all boring stuff. So I don't like the boring stuff.
mm.
I'm not an integrator by any stretch of the imagination. I'm the visionary. So anything integrator is very boring, and I hate doing that stuff.
Mm. All right, you mentioned something there of you don't do a lot of loans, and it makes sense if you moved into this business once you were already successful in other businesses, you had some capital to work with.
Uh-huh.
If you were talking to somebody who was trying to get in the space and they didn't have a lot of capital to invest, would you recommend they start small and use this what they have and then avoid loans where possible so they can be more nimble? Or you recommend, nah, just do loans in the beginning, make a bigger deal, and then as you get more, you can move away
I
from
would
that?
say it depends on how good they are at finding deals and how good they are at underwriting deals. If you could find really good deals and you're definitely going to make money on them, I think getting as many loans as you can is great. But if you're new at it, you're not 100% sure, and until you find some success, I wouldn't get any loans. I would just do one deal at a time and make sure that you're doing everything right and don't do any crazy mistakes. But if you start getting too many loans and stuff goes bad, stuff could go bad pretty on a big scale.
Mm,
So, but yeah, I would say once you know what you're doing and are a veteran and have been doing it for a while, yeah, I mean, leveraging other people's money is the best way to make more money, but you got to do it the correct way. If you do it the wrong way, it could go bad.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, you've done a lot of deals, you've negotiated a lot of contracts, I'm sure. You must have crazy stories. What are some of the crazy story you could share, good, bad, or otherwise?
Man, there's so many. There's so many. I have to think of one, but I'll tell you that like when real estate wise, we talk about real estate. Um, there's people that I have bought properties from that have crazy amount of equity in a home, and you go in their home and they live like a homeless person. Like the whole house is full of crap. It smells. I mean, you'd go in there, you wouldn't even let like defects came in there, they'd shut the place down. But
Oh,
these people
man.
have hundreds of thousands of equity and they live like a bum. I see that all the time, which is crazy.
Mm.
I don't know if people are just mental or people just I don't know what it is. And a lot of these times I've seen like houses like this, they're disgusting that they all have a bunch of kids live there and stuff like that or pets. And it's just crazy that people live like that. As far as like with business stuff, I would say I've had just lots of stories where I partnered with people early on that I thought were good people and I thought we were going to do well together. And they just totally flat out try to screw you over and stuff. So I learned early on, you can't really trust anyone. You have to really before you get into doing deals with people and becoming partners, you've got to at least have done some small stuff with them, known them for a few years, and build it up to where you do bigger stuff with them, because most people in this world will try to take advantage of you if you let them. There's a lot of good people, but there's unfortunately more bad people. So that's something I learned on. I have lots of crazy stories where people took advantage of me in different things. And luckily it was early on, so I was able to be more
Mm.
careful as I got older and got into bigger businesses. But what I will say is, once you find a good person to work with, good partners, try to do as much stuff with them as possible, because it's hard to find like really good ones for long periods of time. So a lot of the stuff I do, I've found people over the years that I do a lot of good business with, and I try to do more and more stuff with them consistently over time, the same people over and over. So a lot of the businesses and a lot of the stuff I do, real estate, lending, all that stuff, I do with the same people over and over once I find good people. And I do find new good people every so often. So it's not like I don't try to find new people that are good, but you just gotta be really careful in the beginning.
Yeah. To that point, how do you determine whether something is not a good deal? Do you end up going a lot with gut sense, or is it purely the numbers? There's no emotion involved, or is it some combination of the two?
As far as like who I'll do stuff with,
I mean,
or as
if
far
yeah, determining if a partnership
yeah.
is good, if a deal is good.
Yeah, so a lot of it is gut, but a lot of it is when you go out with somebody, you could just tell what type of person they are, especially if you go out with them multiple times, especially if you do any type of deals with them. You'll see, is this person trying to always make you pay for dinner? Are they going to offer to pay for dinner every time? People that are very like always want you to do everything and always have them
Mm,
on the best side of stuff. In general, in partnerships, that's not going to work. So when I go out with people, the people that offer to do the most stuff, like I always offer. If you go out with me, I'm always gonna pay for everything. I'm always gonna do everything. I'm always gonna offer. But if you're with somebody that's opposite that always tries to get you to do everything, that's kind of probably gonna end up being bad. Plus, you want to like deal with people that have their life put together. So you want to make sure that they have enough money to where they could, pay their mortgage or rent and eat and, not like be stressed and be so tight all the time, because those are the people that will also screw you over, even if they're good people and mean well. If it comes to
mm,
eating or screwing you over, they're going to pick typically screwing you over. So you got to find people that, you know, have stuff to lose and are just good people, because there's plenty of rich people that are scumbags and they'll take advantage of you as much as possible. But if you hang around somebody long enough and you see other people that they've done business with and you talk to them and kind of get their feedback, you can kind of figure it out within a short period of time.
yeah, it's watching the behavior and the lifestyle. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you most excited about next? Are there things you want to learn and spaces you want to get into?
Yeah, I just want to keep doing the same stuff I've been doing, just do a little bit more of it, but more or less try to see my kids now are at the age where they're going to start doing their own thing. So just kind of trying to help them be able to do what I've been able to do, and hopefully they can even surpass at some point. And that's kind of like the next step of what I've been focusing on. My kids work in the office with me, and we're just doing deals together, and they just keep getting better at it. So that's kind of the next progression.
I love that. If people are interested in following you, finding out more, if they're in the Atlanta area and they want to work with you, how do they find you?
Yeah, the best thing is if you email me, I answer every email and I answer it really fast. It's my name, Abraham, Abraham, at it's 6 letters. It's MMA, like mixed martial arts, and ATL, like Atlanta.com. So Abraham at MMAATL.com. If you email me there, I'm 100% going to respond to you pretty fast. But then all these social medias, if you reach out to me, I'm the best on Facebook by far. But obviously, Instagram, I answer, LinkedIn, everything else. So if you reach out to me any way that you can, I'll definitely respond. But email is for sure the best. And I'm always have an office right here in the central part of Atlanta. It's in Sandy Springs by Buckhead. And we have real estate meetups every month, and sometimes a couple times a month. And I'm always around doing stuff. I have a big office, I have like 4,000 plus square feet. I always have people come here. I'm always showing people stuff, helping them, doing deals with people. So anytime you're around the area, yeah, for sure, hit me up.
Amazing story, Abraham. I love that you're building legacy and passing it forward to the next generation too.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being on Cake on
yeah.
Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining another Cake on Tuesday celebration of beautiful disruption. Please share it, review it, and find more innovative stories at podcast.cakeontuesday.com. I'm Elizabeth Bienyik.
Be bold, stay curious. Now go have some cake.